he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
Hey guys, welcome to the Think Tank. Morning, Dandy. How you doing? How's your weather doing out there? Are you starting to get kind of fall-ish? So it has been like really busy lately, hasn't it? So we've got Purse House. As Dandy's saying, the jurors are back out to deliberate again this morning. I really thought that was going to be fast. I really did. I don't know what, I can never figure it out. And Trezal and Jacqueline West got 15 to life. So good news there. Hopefully they can find them now. Hopefully they can find them. Hey, Farq, how you doing, friend? How you doing? So there is also shocked, but they found Suzanne Morphew. I was blown away. So they say that the families have been notified, and yesterday it was confirmed by autopsy. So they have found her. So do you guys think they're going to have enough to go on to arresting Barry? Hey, Mexi. So yeah, there's that going on. So yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see where this goes as far as Barry. Like I said in the live yesterday, hopefully that's all they needed was to find her. I'm hoping. And I was listening, they said that her remains were kind of scattered, but we're in the mountains there, right? So that's to be expected. I'm hoping that what they're able to find something that they can trace back to him. It was quite a ways from his the site he was working on, but it was not that far from their home. So he's saying that he was out of town, and everyone else is saying, no, you weren't. You were picking up Suzanne. So there's that. And what we're looking at today is Crystal Rogers. So Brooks Houck has been charged. I mean, we've been waiting, right? We've been waiting. And I'm hoping this means that there's going to be justice for Tommy Ballard and for for police Mr. Ellis. Let me see here. Why am I Tommy Ballard and Officer Jason Ellis. So we'll look at them a little bit too while we're going through this. But yeah, it's been busy. It's been busy. I'm wondering what's taking so long as Officer Ellis. Yes. And somehow they're thinking that these 3 cases are more than likely all One person. And then there were two women, mother and daughter. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I have so many tabs up. I'll kind of grab what I think you guys might want to know, because there's quite a bit out there once you realize what a rabbit hole this one is. So we'll start by getting to know Crystal a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful. 5 children. 5 children. Bardstown, Kentucky. So this is what they're saying. This is from Undercovered. And they're saying they've got actually quite a good timeline overview. And it does list all their resources if you guys want to check them out. So Christopher Rogers was a loving mother of 5, a daughter, sister, and a friend who lived in Bardstown, a small rural town in Kentucky, located 40 miles from Louisville. Crystal was 35 years old when she disappeared. At first glance, Bardstown seems quaint and filled with charms and a small town. However, it's filled with sinister secrets. Many who live in Bardstown believe that Crystal's disappearance could be linked to 4 other unsolved cases in Bardstown. So, yes, the mother and daughter. So, the passing of on-duty Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis on May 25th, 2013, and then the double passing of Kathy and Samantha Netherland on April 24th, 2014. And there is also the passing of Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard, on November 19th, 2016. You know, there's a lot of things being said about what he was finding. And a lot of people think that this happened because he was getting close to coming out with who did this to Crystal Rogers. Hydration, my tongue sticking to the top of my face. So a short time after filing a missing persons report, Crystal's red Chevrolet Impala would be found on Bluegrass Parkway near Marker 14 in Bardstown. Crystal's keys, phone, and her purse would also be inside the vehicle. The vehicle was taken into police custody and forensically tested. So Oxygen does a docuseries, The Disappearance of Crystal Rogers. I've seen it and I recommend it. So it says here that the car appeared like it was never tested. No items from her car were ever booked into evidence. So at the time Crystal went missing, her family did everything possible to find her and bring her home, including putting up missing person signs and the exact location of Crystal's car being found. So her family was incredibly vocal about the lack of support they received from Brooks Houck, Crystal's boyfriend. So on July 8th, 2015, Brooks would deny any connection or involvement in Crystal's disappearance. He's super arrogant. Hey, guys, have you seen much of him? Like, he's just like, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah. So let's see here. During an interview, Brooks' brother, Nick Houck, and we'll talk about him a little bit, would call him advising him not to talk to officers. However, it wouldn't be long before he would be named a suspect and authorities would announce that Crystal is presumed passed. On July 15th, Bardstown police officer Nick Houck, the brother to Brooks, would be interviewed by the Nelson County Sheriff's Office. He did agree to take a polygraph test several days later, which he would ultimately fail. Yes, he failed it. As a result, Nick Houck was fired from his job on October 16th, 2015. So what they called it, and as it was interfering with an sorry guys, an ongoing investigation. I haven't completely fixed this bug in me. Sorry. Tragedy after tragedy. The Ballard family experienced another tragedy just a year later after Crystal disappeared. It was November 19th, 2016, and Tommy Ballard was shot and passed while he was out hunting with his young grandson. And they were on his farm. So Tommy was a fierce advocate for Crystal, and he kept a very detailed record of Crystal's case. He believed that Crystal's case was somehow connected to the passing of Tommy. The 1-year anniversary of Tommy's death, yellow and black signs started showing up all around Bardstown. One read, Detective Houck deleted Rogers. By 2020, the FBI Louisville took over the investigation and quickly issued multiple federal warrants to search 3 different properties belonging to Nick and Brooks Houck. The FBI found items of interest, but has not released what they found. In 2020, remains were discovered and taken to FBI headquarters, but it was determined that it was not Crystal. So as of now, almost a decade, of countless advocates and agencies putting their heads together, looking for answers, finally, officers have arrested Brooks Houck, charged him with deleting and evidence tampering. Crystal's case is still unsolved. I hope not. So her remains have not been found. So Crystal is described as 5'9", weighing about 150 pounds, with shoulder-length blonde hair and blue eyes. So they're offering $25,000 for any information that leads to arrest, conviction, or identification of the individuals responsible for Crystal's disappearance. However, the family is offering an additional award. If you know something regarding Crystal's disappearance, call the FBI tip line. So that's 1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. So this is Brooks Houck. So this is just a really, really good resource, you guys. You have to check them out. Uncovered.com. Crystal Rogers, her dad, Tommy Ballard, Brooke House was just charged. And a while ago, this fellow named Joseph Lawson was charged. I was a little shocked, by that. So they were good, and they actually gave us a map in here to look at. So we'll go through this timeline. So 2:30 a.m. Officer Jason Ellis that's right here, was deleted back in 2013. So he was driving home after his shift. He can be heard signing off for the evening over the radio as he approaches exit 34 on the Bluegrass Parkway. He notices a blockage on the road. So he pulled over, gets out of his vehicle, and starts moving all the branches and stuff that were blocking the road. And while he was doing that, he was shot several times and passed away. So he was up here. April 22nd, 2014, Kathy Netherland, a special ed teacher, and her 16-year-old daughter, Samantha, were brutally attacked in their home. They are tied up. Bad things. Bad things. Beat up and suffered pointy object and had bullet wounds. Security footage near the Netherland home captures a black Chevy Impala that could be connected to, let me see here, could be connected to these passings. For some reason, I think they're right in here. I've gone through here, but just a small little area. Okay, I want this one over here, though. Distilleries, police, Ballard's farm, Crystal's car, gas station. So, location of Kathy and Samantha's home where they were attacked. Distilleries, the farm. So this is the mom's farm. Where the heck, guys? And Whiteside's the distilleries and the farm. Kathy and Samantha's house. Where the heck? So July 3rd, 2015, according to Brooks Houck, with whom Crystal lived, she was last seen playing games on her phone late at night of July 3rd. The two share a home with their 2-year-old, Ellie, and Crystal's other children. The next morning, Crystal vanishes. And Brooks does not think it's odd because she occasionally spent the night at homes of her friends. Oh my God. So they're right in here. Right over there. Right over here. FBI search area. So not that far. July 5th, 2015. This is when the family reports her missing. So we got the police station there. Oh, there we go. We see how that goes. There's the police station. And both Nick Houck and Jason Ellis were police officers. So they probably knew each other. Let's go back up here. We can see where this house is. Yes. Okay, over there. Straight over here. So, July 5th, Crystal's car is located, and it was abandoned with a flat tire at mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, Kentucky. Roger's keys, phone, and purse were still inside her red Chevrolet Impala. There is no trace of Crystal in or around the vehicle. However, the disappearance in the Oxygens, the disappearance of Crystal Rogers docuseries, it does not appear as though the car had been properly tested. In fact, the car is returned to Sherry Ballard shortly afterward, with all of Crystal's belongings. So that's a little bit of a hoof. How are you guys doing over here? Hey, Sarah. Good to see you, friend. Far Q. I just love that. Far Q. Hey, rapper. You got in trouble with, oh, poor Sarah. So, July 6, 2015, Crystal's family announces a $25,000 reward for information that leads to arrest or discovery of Crystal's whereabouts. July 8th, boom. Brooks Houck is interviewed by the Nelson County Sheriff's Office. His brother Nick, a Bardstown police officer at the time, called during that interview and says the department is concerned that the interview is a ploy to trip him up. So, July 9th. Crystal's family feels like Brooks isn't taking their daughter's disappearance seriously enough. Brooks agrees to do an interview with Nancy Grace. Brooks admits in the interview that his and Crystal's relationship had been stressed and denies having a role in her disappearance. So, Kentucky State Police interviewed Bardstown Police Officer Nick Houck at the Nelson County Sheriff's Office. So, this is where he agrees on July 24th. Nick Houck is taking a polygraph test, 2015, which he failed. So, October 16th, he was fired. He was on a month-long suspension after he was accused of interfering with the investigation. Then the city of Bardstown released a document citing that Nick had called his brother on a July 8th to warn Brooks that detectives wanted to interview him. October 16th, 2015. Brooks Houck is named as a suspect and Crystal is presumed passed away. Nelson County Sheriff Ed Mattingly publicly names Brooks Houck as a suspect. It is also announced that Crystal is likely passed away. December 16th, 2015, Brooks Houck's right-hand man and employee is arrested and charged with 38 counts of perjury for allegedly giving false testimony and lying under oath through the investigation. And he would later plead guilty and be released from jail after only serving 6 months. Well, isn't that something? Okay, so Brooke, this is June 1st, 2016. Brooks and Nick Houck, their 82-year-old grandmother invokes her Fifth Amendment right not to speak after she is subpoenaed to testify. Wow. According to the reports, investigators wanted to ask her about a car she owned, which she believed could have been used to dispose of Crystal's remains. Whiteside owns a white Buick, which was sold shortly after Crystal disappeared. Court documents suggested that Whiteside's car was parked in a peculiar location at the Houck family farm the night Crystal vanished. The plot thickens. July 6, 2016. Crystal's parents file custody for her son. Tommy and Sherry Ballard filed against Brooks Houck for custody of their grandson. Okay, Rosemary Houck's farm. A massive search effort. The Nelson County Sheriff's Office searched for 2 separate pieces of property, and they ended their search around 9 p.m. that evening. November 19th, 2016. And this is Tommy Ballard's farm, which is Crystal's papa, her dad. On the morning of November 19th, 2016, authorities are called to a nearby property on Bluegrass Parkway for a death investigation. Tommy Ballard Crystal's father had been shot in the chest while hunting with his grandson. I remember this way too well. So, Anna Whiteside's home was searched by Kentucky State Police on July 25th, 2007. Whiteside's attorney, Jason Floyd, arrived onto the site to help with investigation efforts. According to Floyd, Whiteside had suffered an unrelated injury and was not at home. Okay, this must be where she worked. Police arrested Crystal Maupin, Brooks Houck's girlfriend. She had been caught on surveillance video destroying stand with the Ballard signs around Bardstown. Ugh. A video of Maupin had been seen at the Bardstown Circle K gas station, which led to her arrest. She is charged with theft by unlawfully taking and posting bond and was released the same day. Unreal. Like, why? Just why? November 19th, 2007. It's the 1-year anniversary of Tommy Ballard's passing. Yellow signs begin to show up around town. One reads, "Detectives say Brooks House deleted Rogers." March 21st, 2018. A resolution is established representing 3 missing people and 6 unsolved passings in Nelson and Marion County. Wow. So in July 2018, Brooke denied having any connection to Crystal's disappearance. I don't have anything to say. I really don't have anything to say. I really don't have anything to say because I don't know anything. So I really don't have anything to say. Oh, he was creative. August 21st, 2019. Police believe an arsonist was responsible for a fire that ruined a home Brooks Houck was building. It is believed that disgruntled employees who worked for Houck may be to blame. So Houck owns Houck Rentals, which involves real estate holdings. July 23rd, 2020. The Nelson County Police had so the Nelson County Sheriff's Police have made aware of human remains that had been discovered the Nelson and Washington County line, near the Nelson and county line. Crystal's family is notified. So August 6, 2020, Louisville accounts they're taking over the lead. Okay, FBI Louisville announces they are taking over the lead. Investigative agency. More than 150 federal agents arrive in Bardstown to serve new search warrants related to Crystal's disappearance. Nearly 50. There's their house there. That's Crystal and Brooks. There are 9 federal warrants served over 2 days at 3 different properties, including homes belonging to Nick and Brooke Houck. August 9th, 2020. The distilleries. FBI releases new surveillance photos of possible cars of interest in the Crystal Rogers missing person case. The photos show 3 cars in 2 separate photos taken in Bardstown. At least one of the surveillance photos was taken at 3:45 a.m. on July 4th, 2015. So the search area is down here. August 14th, 2020. The FBI publicly announces a new area of interest in their search efforts. The area in the vicinity of a Poplar Flats Road and Farmaway Drive in Bardstown, per the Crystal Rogers Task Force website. We do have that. Can you remember what you saw or what you may have heard? Do you recall anything unusual or out of place? The location? Do you have surveillance captured in this area? November 9th, 2020. FBI releases new surveillance photos. So the FBI Louisville office released new surveillance photos of vehicles related to Crystal's disappearance. They believe that these vehicles and their drivers are identified. It will provide important details. One photo shows what appears to be an SUV and a red SUV driving near my old Kentucky home. That's a campground, by the way. The second photo was taken at 3:45 a.m. on July 4th, 2015, and shows an unidentified vehicle on Balltown Road, close to the Pascal Ballard Road intersection. Oh, what did I just say? Ballard Road. November 2020. November 2020. The remains that the FBI had found previously is determined not to be Crystal. Maybe it'll end up being something like Susan Morphew that she just found. So on August 24th, 2021, FBI Louisville announces that based on information they've collected over the last year, they'll be conducting several searches within the Woodlawn Spring area of Bardstown. September 11th, 2023, just this past month or so, Joseph Lawson has been arrested and charged in connection to the 2015 disappearance of Crystal Rogers. This is a developing story. So, November 27th, 2023, federal agents arrest Brooks Houck and charged him with deleting and evidence tampering. Ofta. Unreal, guys. Just absolutely unreal. You're getting in trouble. So apparently I'm blocked from ever seeing anything Streamlabs posts. What's going on in here? Oh, Sarah. Why was I placed out in time for 5 minutes without warning or knowing? I'm sorry. This is Streamlabs. I don't do it. The mods don't do it. I apologize. This is Streamlabs, and I'm trying to get it under control so it does not do this. I promise you, friend, you're not the first. So sorry. Oh, my word. Oh, my goodness gracious. What has Streamlabs been doing, Sarah, you poor thing? Oh, my word. Yeah, I did find those. Thank you, Mexi. Trying to get some chores done. Nice. Streamlabs. Poor thing. It's not us. Oh, my word. You're such a nice person. So sorry. Yeah. I mean, it kicks out all sorts of people, and it's the same thing. They're like, what? It's Streamlabs upset that James isn't here. Yeah, he's been booted a couple times. Oh, my word. Naughty bot. Naughty bot. Come out wherever you are. So are they not? Yeah, looks like the mods can do it. Don't you see everything, Cyrus? Oh, there you go. You got in trouble. See? You got in trouble. Did it kick her out? Hey, Shauna. Okay, I thought maybe it kicked you out there, Maxie, because it was giving you trouble. So yeah, it must not do that to mods. Oh my God. Bots are bots, right? Oh my word. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I came back. It's like, oh no. I don't have my other computer running, so I'm not seeing chat. So when I'm actually showing you guys stuff, I'm not seeing what goes on in chat. I have to come back. Oh, did you see Adam Montgomery wants to push his trial? Oh, just do it, buddy. Just do it. Oh my goodness. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so yeah, exactly. Well said, Dandy. Okay, so this is Brooks' house. And 5 fast facts that you need to know. So where is this coming from? Where do we got? Heavy. Check out Heavy. So Brooks Houck is a businessman who is also the former boyfriend and main suspect in the disappearance of Crystal Rogers, who was a 35-year-old mother with 5 children who disappeared under suspicious circumstances back on July 3rd, 2015. There are multiple people around Houck who have been implicated in her disappearance, and Houck has also been accused of theft, for which he was acquitted. So Houck runs a rental business. And what does this tweet say? Some of those properties Houck sold represented properties that he had owned for many years. As far back as 2005, Houck has been in the rental and real estate development business in Nelson County since the mid 2000s, and his business, Houck Rentals, was formed in May 2007. So yeah, Houck runs Houck Rentals, a business involved in real estate holdings for more than 130 parcels in 2018. He owns 129 properties, 11 houses. According to Dun and Bradstreet, the company has 4 employees and has made nearly $330,000 in sales. In 2018, he sold 24 properties, and he called an old acquaintance and depreciated for more than 1.8 million, the Kentucky Standard. So he depreciated. However, he described the business as thriving and reportedly planned to replace his older properties with new properties. The 2019 partially built home on Wheeling Avenue was destroyed in a fire, according to what Fire Chief Billy Mattingly told the Lexington Herald. The fire began the investigation as arson. They determined that was arson. What do we got here?
Inside the Nelson, heard the detective's questions.
What do you think happened? I'm shocked. I do not know.
Days after his girlfriend was reported missing, he told the detective he last saw Crystal after a night at his mom's farm. It was late, and they were at the home they shared.
I went to bed immediately.
Brooks said he couldn't explain how her car ended up on the side of the Bluegrass Parkway.
Wow. So I've got that whole interview, but I want to go through it a little bit before I put it out. I've got to write down certain times because I do not want to get in trouble for copyright. So Nelson County Sheriff Raymond, Pineroa 11, that Houck is the main suspect in the case of the Rogers disappearance. Houck told police that the last time they talked, he and Rogers got into an argument about how he treated her children, but said she was still home when he went to bed. He said that Rogers was on her phone and he went to bed, went to sleep, and she was gone when he woke up. Yeah. However, Rogers' mother, Sherry Ballard, does not believe him. Ballard told WDRB that she believes that Houck is guilty of something and that her daughter got mixed up with the wrong person. When she started dating him, he was very deceiving, she said. When you first meet him, everyone thinks he's the perfect gentleman. But when you really get to know him, you don't know what kind of monster lives in there. Wow. Several people around Houck, including 2 relatives and 1 employee, have also been implicated in the case. One of Houck's employees, Danny Singleton, pled guilty to false swearing after he initially faced 38 counts of perjury for lying to detectives. Houck's grandmother, Annie Whiteside, was also implicated when she invoked her Fifth Amendment right when called to testify in court. The station reported that whoever was responsible for her disappearance used Whiteside's car to move Crystal Rogers' body. On August 6th, the same day, the FBI announced it was taking over the Rogers case. Brooks and his brother Nick had their homes raided. Witnesses also said they heard loud noises at Brooks Houck's residence and watched agents leaving with manila envelopes. The Kentucky Standard reported Houck, who started mowing the lawn right after the agents left. His home has raised some eyebrows. Grass has to get cut. Federal investigation be damned. One person tweeted, while another tweeted, got to get it done before he heads off to jail and has to sell it. So, Nick's brother is the brother of Brooks. So, it is at Nick's Houck's home where federal warrants are also being served. FBI said they are doing anything on camera just yet. Did confirm federal warrants being served at 2 locations. Nick Houck was brought into the Bardstown police officer, police officer at the time of Rogers' disappearance, although his behavior led to dismissal. So former Chief Rick McCubbin had said that Nick told his brother Brooks to leave the interrogation room, and Brooks did. McCubbin said that Houck's conduct was unbecoming and showed poor ethics and integrity. The chief also threatened to take the badge. He said that Nick did not seem very bothered by that idea. So the Daily Beast said that Houck's refusal to be interviewed by detectives looking for Crystal Rogers failed a polygraph and tried to warn his brother when police were going to interview him. He was fired from the department after Rogers' disappearance. On August 6th, FBI raided his home, and witnesses told Kentucky Standard that they saw agents searching the property as well as other agents bringing a handcuffed Nick Houck out of the house Thursday morning. So the fourth thing we need to know, Brooks Houck entering the courtroom followed by family of Crystal Rogers. This arraignment has to do with a felony theft charges from Lowe's. So, WDRB reported that Houck had indicted on 4 felony counts for misdemeanor counts of theft after he was accused of taking more than 200 bundles of roofing shingles from Lowe's in the Nelson County over a period of multiple days. There we go. Nice. Bardstown Police Chief Kim Kresig said that they conducted search warrant at his house looking for financial records related to the theft allegations. He made bond and was ordered to have no contact with Lowe's. Unreal. So the fifth is that he won custody of their little girl. So this here.
Also here tonight, Brooks Houck spent the morning in a courtroom, but not for anything connected to his former girlfriend, Crystal Rogers of Nelson County. However, family members of the still missing Rogers were there to see the man unofficially considered a suspect in this case. WHS 11's Shay McAllister is here now for details on Houck's current case. Shay?
Right, Doug. Houck was arrested last month on felony theft charges and spent 1.
So he's not been a very good boy since he's been out and about, has he? Like, oh my God, there's nothing worse to me than crooked cops.
Night in jail. He pleaded not guilty, though, to those charges in court today. This arrest has nothing to do with Crystal Rogers, but her family made their presence known during his court appearance this afternoon.
Commonwealth versus Brooks Houck.
Brooks Houck came to court Thursday with only his lawyer by his side, but the gallery was full. Friends and
Can you imagine this small little town again? How many people just despise him and his family at this point? Unreal. I have not heard anything negative about Crystal's family. They have been very upstanding and just want some justice for their daughter. Let's find her.
family of missing mother of 5, Crystal Rogers. She disappeared 3 years ago. Houck is considered the main suspect in her case.
It's hard really to look at him, but I know I have to sometimes. I'm not going to let him intimidate me.
Houck is facing felony theft charges. Police say he stole shingles from.
I had no idea that he was that big. I had no idea he was as big as he was. Like, you want to talk about an unfair fight? Unreal. Attacks a little woman. And what is he doing thieving from Lowe's?
Lowe's
Jeez.
earlier this year. This case completely different from Crystal's and under investigation by a different agency. But Crystal's family holds out hope that her case could be closer to closure.
I know it has nothing to do with my daughter, but it does show what kind of person that Brooks Houck is. So to me, that's very important.
3 years without answers in her daughter's case has been difficult for Sherry Ballard. But she.
So now we're at what? 7 years? It's oh. Jazzy, that's okay. Kids and dogs. She did well, didn't she?
She says she knows one day she will sit in the Nelson County courtroom getting justice for her daughter.
I wait for that day every minute, every second of my life. But to see him here for anything, I will take that.
And Houck is expected back in court in.
He looks so arrogant. Anything I see of him, arrogant. So Crystal's mom has also been in a custody dispute with Houck. A judge ruled February of 2019 that their 6-year-old son could not sit with Ballard until the custody case was complete. Oh my word. Ballard initially had visitation with her grandson, but after several custody hearings, a trial court began to have concerns. Houck said that when his son would return from visiting Ballard's, his son would be sullen and uncooperative, extremely accusatory, and demanding to know, "What did you do to my mommy?" As a result, a 3-judge panel said that there was a detrimental aspect to the boy's visits to the grandmother. Ballard has maintained that she will always believe Houck did something to her daughter. Yeah. I have all sorts of really bad names floating around my brain right now. Let's see over here. Ah, la, la, la. Boom, da boom, boom. Does he give you Barry Morphew vibes, Perry? Yeah. This guy, for whatever reason, I can't trust him. I can't trust him. He's the last person to see her. His whole I went to bed is a case of crap, in my personal opinion. Yeah. Yeah. Just admit it. I mean, anyone involved, just admit it. Be a man, not a mouse. Jeez. Was the family that XXX the whole other family? I don't think I understand, friend. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's just trying to avoid the inevitable. I really, really do. Yeah. Are we talking about Adam Montgomery there? Absolutely. Where's Harmony? I bet he's trying to get a deal. What a puke. So tomorrow, jury selection for Tim Ferreter? I don't know how to pronounce that, friend. The dad who put his adopted son. Oh my God. Seriously? So are they gonna stream that? Do you know, Chopper? Yeah, Harmony's in heaven. Yep. Do they televise these trials there? Any information from Crystal's cell phone data, obvious question, if it went off, etc. Now, I believe that was left in her vehicle. I believe everything was left in her vehicle, including that phone. You know what I found out? In my home state of Oklahoma, they don't allow cameras. Are you kidding me? What? Ay, ay, ay. That weirdly doesn't surprise me, Copper. Don't know why, though. Yeah, it is. No, it's total. How do you... They make us feel safe, especially in cities and unlit paths and... Oh, my word. That's why I have my lawyer's phone number in my cell phone at all times. Smart lady. Yeah. I am hoping Sherry is filing for an emergency custody right freaking now. And do you know what, friend? I think that they probably are. I really believe that they are. I hope she gets them. They've gone through enough. She should also get a VPO. Yeah. It's a scary world out there, friends. Okay, Crystal Rogers. I'll take a look at this here. So this is the timeline from her disappearance, but we will, what did I do? Come on. Where are they? Oh, you're way down there. Get back here. back here. Good Lord. Okay, so let's see what we can get out of this.
And has been the only suspect in the case. Has charged with murder and tampering with evidence. WLKY's Lauren Adams has been on this case from the start and joins us live from Nelson County, the courthouse there, with the very latest. Lauren?
Well, good afternoon to you, Jennifer. I spoke to several family members. At this point, they tell me really they just need some time to process the morning's events. Keep in mind, no one had any idea this was coming. A lot of these folks woke up to a text message or a phone call that Houck had been arrested just a short time ago. Now, while they're not up for talking today, understandably, the family did want me to pass along this. They say they are extremely grateful for the continued work of investigators, everyone who's had a piece in this.
Sorry, this isn't the beginning, so I'm trying to get it to the beginning.
Start with late breaking news. More than 8 years after Bardstown mother Crystal Rogers disappeared, police make an arrest for her murder. Brooks Houck was just booked into the Nelson County Jail. He was Rogers' boyfriend.
Yeah, and I have no doubt this guy thought that, you know what, they'll never, ever find me. They won't even consider me at this point. I'm sure he thought he was safe, good to go. Piece of crap.
At the time of her disappearance and has been the only suspect in the case. Houck is charged with murder and tampering with evidence. WLKY's Lauren Adams has been on this case from the start and joins us live from Nelson County, the courthouse there, with the very latest. Lauren?
Well, good afternoon to you, Jennifer. I spoke to several family members. At this point, they tell me really they just need some time to process the morning's events. Keep in mind, no one had any idea this was coming. A lot of these folks woke up to a text message or a phone call that Houck had been arrested just a short time ago. Now, while they're not up for talking today,
I don't know. I've been waiting for this to happen. It's just unreal. Yeah, you know what? I don't know if they have, but I strongly believe that she will. There might be something in one of my tabs. It's really sad that these monsters don't consider children before they do these things. Oh, they don't. They don't. They're monsters. They're absolute monsters.
understandably, the family did want me to pass along this. They say they are extremely grateful for the continued work of investigators, everyone who's had a piece in this case over the past 8 years. Now, we do want to let you know, Jennifer, Sherry Ballard, that's Crystal's mother, she was at this courthouse earlier this morning, presumably to get a look at those court documents and learn more about this arrest. Now, indictment.
It's a little disconcerting to know that somebody that close is a suspect in a murder that's been 8 years old.
Yeah, can you imagine? I mean, he had a reputation. I mean, a lot of people suspected what he may have done, but no one had proved it. So I imagine this area, probably for the most part, just kind of carried on. And when something like this comes out, it's got to shock them. It's like another small town.
The rumors that fly. And everybody knows about the case, from our church to the people we meet at the restaurant.
Suspect in October of that year, he denied any involvement. The case has been slow to progress in recent years until the appointment of a special prosecutor earlier this year. Then in September came the announcement of the first ever arrest in that case. Do you remember that? 32-year-old Joseph Lawson charged with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence. Many, including the family, were optimistic that was the start of some real movement. Still, news of Houck's arrest, as we mentioned, came as a shock to the family. We have learned Houck, a contractor by trade, was arrested at a subdivision where he is currently building homes. And
so, yeah, he was not arrested at home. They got him while he was working, which is good. I think that's just awesome. There was an audience. I don't know why, but I truly, when there's some of these guys, I just don't have a lot of doubt.
Neighbors in Copperfield tell us they were relieved to learn of that early morning arrest just a few doors down.
It's a little disconcerting to know that somebody that close is a suspect in a murder that's been 8 years old. Just the rumors that fly. And everybody knows about the case, from our church to the people we meet at the restaurants. Everybody knows about Brooks Houck, and I had no idea. I've never met the guy.
And back here live today, Jennifer, as you mentioned, Houck was just booked within the last hour at the Nelson County Jail. We do know that once he was taken into custody, he ended up at a police interrogation room being interviewed by state police who...
Nice. Nice. So, Crystal Rogers disappeared under mysterious circumstances, and only one suspect was ever named, her then boyfriend. But now we are hearing some different names, aren't we? So, we did go through this. This is Crystal's car. This is Nick, the brother who got fired. If you've watched that video of I think it was the first interrogation, and his brother Nick here phoned him and said, "Get out of there." He ended up losing his job. And Danny Singleton was arrested on 38 counts of perjury and lying to the grand jury. Grandmother invoked her Fifth Amendment right. Search warrant was served in Nick Houck's at Whiteside's home in Pullman Avenue. Days later, another search warrant is executed on Whiteside's home and garage, as well as home of Nick Houck. What's going on here? Wow, guys. Wonder what they're looking for. Why are they in the water? Oh, this is probably the water from the farm. Am I correct? That's what I'm thinking, because they said that there was on that third patch that there was some kind of pond for the cows. That would make sense. They did a really good search if they're out there checking out that water pond. So November is when Tommy Ballard, who is Crystal's father, was shot and passed while hunting with his grandson on their property in Bardstown. And it's not solved.
The FBI was back at Bardstown today in connection to the Crystal Rogers case. Today, teams were at these storage units off of Camptown Road. Family members say it is where Rogers had a unit at the time of her death. The FBI says they can't comment on what was collected or what they were.
I didn't know that they were searching storage units. Wow. 7 of them.
Looking for, but will confirm it was a joint search with the IRS. The FBI took over the investigation earlier this month. So far,
The IRS? That's interesting.
they have searched the house of Brooks Houck, Rogers' boyfriend at the time of her disappearance, and the only suspect in the case. Investigators have also searched his brother's home and the Houck family farm, which is believed to be the last place Rogers was seen alive.
So, let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Houck, does it? Doesn't look good for him at all. Yeah, they did. FBI joined 2020 and man, they came in hot. Absolutely. 10 warrants right around. Yeah. Just unreal. It's disturbing. So let's go here for a second, friends. So this is on Facebook. Team Crystal is what it's called. I thought I had it pinned, but I will again. And there is some good information. Let's see what we've got here, if it'll let me. Okay, we'll just take a pop over here, I think. Okay. Okay, there we go. So this is the 4th day. There's not a whole lot of I wasn't able to find a whole lot that wasn't like a documentary size thing about this farm that really, really needs and maybe still needed for maybe another search.
Dogs and heavy machinery being put to use right now on the Houck family farm in Nelson County. The FBI on day 4 now of its newest search for Crystal Rogers. Our Shane McAllister has a glimpse of what the FBI has been focused on during this week's search.
On the Houck family property, dozens of FBI investigators have been working for.
So what do you guys think? Do you think that they searched everywhere, or do you think maybe they need to search this area again? Because it's a pretty large parcel. They own a lot of land. Hey there, James. Good to see you, friend. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
For days, using off-road vehicles to move around the large farm, cadaver dogs to assist in operations, and heavy machinery towed in on trailers to dig. The apparent focus still on that blue barn near the end of the road where a white tent shades the ground, yellow equipment running to it from a nearby trailer. While we were on site, we saw FBI Louisville Special Agent in Charge Jody Cohen driving onto the search grounds, the leader surveying the progress and talking to special agents. Meanwhile, 9 miles south near the heart of Bardstown,
we've been wearing them for 7 years, you know? They're wore out.
Members of Team Crystal are waiting for word, wondering if Tommy Ballard, Crystal's father, was.
So do you think that with this going on, we might have a good chance of putting this guy in the hoosegow? I mean, oh my word. It seems like there was a few people involved in this, and it's just scary and sick.
Right, all of those years ago, when he suggested the Houck family farm held the answers in this case.
He truly believed something happened on that farm, and it leads me to believe that they're where they need to be.
Tommy Ballard told us years ago he asked the Houck family for permission to search the farm himself, but he said they told him no. Now, the team of civilian searchers who used to work right alongside Tommy.
He told them no? What? Unreal. No, 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 no. If you give a crap, you just say, give her. I don't care. Look at it all. Empty every single drawer. Put my shredded papers together. I mean, seriously, right?
Are counting on the FBI.
I think if there wasn't something, they wouldn't be there. I think they're very intelligent and they're working super hard and they're invested in this now too. So they want the same outcome, justice.
Justice, the ultimate goal for family, friends, and the feds in the search for Crystal Rogers. Shay McAllister, WHAS 11 on your side.
As investigators work, we do want to remind you, if you know anything about this case that could help police find Crystal, contact investigators. The FBI has a designated task force website where you could submit anonymous tips.
So submit tips and information to https:// or is that backslash? I'm not going to tell you. I'm HTTP this. Forward, backwards, this, that. Okay. Yeah, that whole family. Yeah, like livestock. They had cattle. And it seems like they had 3 parcels. The third, it sounds like, is where they would get their watering and their food. But there's those, and there's so many properties, you know. How many did they just say? Like, he had a lot of properties, and then he's got something like 11 homes. Ay, thank you. Much appreciated. You don't know this case. Yeah, it's a bit older, but yeah, I'm glad there's arrest because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much thought that I thought this was going to happen faster. This is the Facebook page. Sending love and hugs. Okay, what am I on? Somebody's comments? Okay, well. Holy, so much. I don't know, James. I don't know if they have pigs. So they did set up this task force, and basically they will take any kind of information that you're willing to pass on. I'll give this over here as well. So this banner is where you can contact if you have any information, and this will get you to their services and labs and forensics. For further information on resources and forensic response. Go there, guys. Go there. Okay. So, about Crystal Marie Rogers. She grew up in Bardstown and with a mother of 5. According to those who knew her, Crystal loved being a mother and was a caring person who would help friends when they were in need. On July 5th, 2015, Crystal's mother reported her missing and has not seen or heard from her since the evening of July 3rd, 2015. The same day Crystal was reported missing, her car was found abandoned with a flat tire at mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway. Crystal's keys, phone, and purse were still inside her red Chevrolet Impala. Sadly, while most families are enjoying the fun of 4th of July, Crystal's family was instead left wondering about where she was. So there is a task force out there. There's that Facebook page. There's a few different things that a few different ways to contact them. I know a farmer who was accused of conspiracy and disposing of. He had pigs. Yikes. It's a famous case in Scotland. Kind of like our famous one in Canada, right? So let's see here. What have I got up? Okay, so yeah, we should look at this. So we get a new name here, Joseph Lawson. And how are they connected? So Brooks Houck was named a suspect in Crystal Rogers' disappearance years ago, but weeks before his Wednesday arrest, police charged a man whose name that had not come up publicly in the investigation. Joseph Lawson, 32, is charged with conspiracy to commit M and complicity to tampering with physical evidence in the case, according to the court records. Houck is charged with M and tampering with evidence, according to his indictment. Little information has been released about what's suspected to happen. Okay, little information has been released about what's suspected to have happened the night Rogers' disappearance or how Lawson and Houck might be connected. After Lawson's arrest, questions arose about a video of a 2015 police interview of Brooks Houck that included mention of another man with the last name Lawson. During the interview, the investigators asked Houck about a phone call between him and the man named Steve Lawson on the night of Rogers' disappearance. Houck can be heard telling the detective that Steve Lawson worked for him. During the interview, you might remember this if you've seen it, he calls Steve Lawson and asks him to recount what they were talking about that night. And it is the strangest call I've ever seen. I tell you what. During that call, Steve Lawson said that Houck had told him that he'd call Rogers to ask her about something work-related. But the detective points out that Houck had told the police she was with him at the time of the call with Steve Lawson. So, okay, that begs the question in my mind, if she's in the truck next to you when he called, why would you need to call her about getting numbers for rental properties? Yeah. So being late at night, we're headed to the house. I just wouldn't. She was normally not going to deal with stuff that late. So nothing has been released about whether Steve Lawson and Joseph Lawson are related. LEX 18 investigates team recently went to an address tied to Joseph Lawson in Washington and Neilson County to learn more. A distant relative and a neighbor said that Steve Lawson is Joseph Lawson's father, but LEX 18 could not reach Steve Lawson to confirm. So, yeah, there's other names involved with this, you know? There's a possibility that this guy could be picked up as well, because I do believe that the guy was being dishonest. So now we'll talk a little bit about Tommy Ballard. This is Crystal's dad. He was so dedicated to finding Crystal that some people believe that he may have gotten some information that possibly had him deleted. I mean, really? Yeah, the Canadian case is pretty bad, right? Picton, outside of Vancouver. We've had some winners. Hashtag dope. So we're going to talk a little bit about her dad. Sorry, I had to get another liquid. So yeah, a lot of people think that this happened because possibly he had gotten some information that nobody wanted to get out. So Tommy Ballard was a proud father, brother, grandfather, friend, and husband. He was the father of two. Get this. Let's get this. Okay. Okay, he was a father of two daughters, Crystal, Brooke, and his son, Casey. He was the owner of TMB Construction, LLC, was a member of the St. Thomas Catholic Church. Tommy was married to Sherry, and they had 8 grandchildren. Both Tommy and the Bardstown community, which is still reeling from the 3 other unsolved cases, the passing of Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis on May 25th, 2013, and the double M of Kathy and Samantha Netherland on April 21st, 2014. And Tommy's daughter, Crystal Rogers, went missing on July 3rd, 2015. So on the day that Tommy passed, on the morning of November 19th, 2016, Tommy had plans to go hunting on his property with his grandson. By 7:54 a.m., authorities were called to the 400 block of Ed Brent Road for a death investigation. Tommy had been shot in the chest from behind. It wouldn't be long before investigators ruled out his grandson, who was with him, as a suspect. However, a few months before this happened, Tommy told his wife, Sherry, that he felt someone was following him. I was actually told from the very beginning that this was no accident. His wife, Sherry Ballard, and mother to Crystal, said, I just can't hide that. No, it's not. No, it's not. It was never a hunting accident. In the disappearance of Casey Rogers in that docuseries, Sherry mentions that she believes that Tommy was getting close to information about what and who may have been responsible for Crystal's disappearance. So let's see here. Tommy's case remains unsolved. However, Sherry has been focusing on advocating for Crystal's case and believes that it will provide answers for what happened to her husband. Did Tommy know too much? Is Tommy's deleting connected to other Bardstown unsolved cases? Police have asked locals to come forward with any information if they were driving Bluegrass Highway between mile markers 21 and 24 before 7:30 a.m. on November 19th, 2016. So again, if you have any information, the tip line is 1-800-CALL-FBI. So yeah, rest in peace, Tommy, right? So this here is from the FBI. So this is the victim from Bardstown, Kentucky, and the date is November 19th, 2016. So there is, the FBI is offering up to $10,000 for information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of the individual or individuals responsible for this passing of Tommy Ballard. After his daughter passed away, Crystal Rogers, passed away, I'm sorry, she disappeared back in July of 2015. Tom Ballard created Team Crystal, a group of Bardstown, Kentucky community members dedicated to finding and bringing Crystal home. So, yeah, I'll see if I can find that Facebook link. So his daughter Crystal disappeared. On the morning of November 19th, 2016, 16 months after Crystal's disappearance, Ballard was preparing for a hunting trip with his 12-year-old grandson on family property next to the Bluegrass Parkway in Bardstown, Kentucky. An unknown subject fired one shot and hit Ballard in the chest, and he instantly deleted him. Again, for information, please call 1-800-CALL-FBI. So this is, I'll just take a quick look. And this is also from the FBI's webpage. Seeking information on Tommy Ballard, victim from Bardstown, Kentucky, November 19th, 2016. And everything I just read to you, they've got on there. And they're saying call the tip line, 1-800-CALL-FBI. You may also contact your local FBI office or nearest American embassy or consulate. So the FBI's on it. So sadly, it doesn't stop there. I mean, it just continues. So now we've got Officer Jason Ellis. Been 10 years and still no answers in the Bardstown officer's passing. Family man.
Jason Ellis was killed on his way home from work. The reward for information leading to an arrest now sits at $217,000. The 30.
Whoa. $213,000. And those little girls are at $5,000. I cannot stop, and I can't not think about that when I see these huge numbers for certain people.
33-year-old officer was driving home when he came across branches blocking exit 34 of the Bluegrass Parkway. When Ellis got out of his car to move the branches, investigators say he was ambushed and shot several times. Friends and colleagues were shocked when they learned Ellis had been murdered.
Just wanting answers and wanting them.
So they are believing that all of these are connected somehow.
Sooner than later. That's obviously not been the case. However, patience is a virtue. So we have no other option but to be patient and continue to work.
A memorial to remember Officer Ellis is tonight. It's at 6 at the Bardstown Police Department. And from there, a procession will drive Ellis's final route before ending at Highview Cemetery in Chaplin.
Heartbreaking. Just more. So it's now been a decade since 33-year-old.
Good afternoon.
33-year-old Bardstown Officer Jason Ellis was ambushed and deleted. And to this day, we still do not know who did it or why. He was the first Bardstown officer in 150 years to be deleted in the line of duty. As we remember his life and legacy, we're taking a look back in time of what happened that night. May 25th, 2013, just before 3 a.m., Bardstown officer Jason Ellis stopped at the Bluegrass Parkway, exit 34. So that's that roundabout when you stay on the highway, or you can take that offshoot. He was on that offshoot. So stopped at the Bluegrass Parkway, exit 34, to remove debris from the road and was on his way home after finishing an overnight shift. Police believe Ellis was removing debris from the road when he was deleted. They said he never fired his service weapon and that it was still holstered. He was discovered by a passing driver. Officers immediately began to work around the clock to identify this shooter. I can assure you we will not give up on this person until we have him in custody or in the front side of one of our weapons. And I hope it's the latter. And this was said by the police chief, Rick McCubbin. 26, 2013. Kentucky State Police announced Ellis's passing was premeditated and debris was planted in the road to lure him. They said the gunman was likely on that hill, and it's not known if Ellis was the target or the victim of a random shooting. Residents rallied around his family and police department. People stopped by the Bardstown Police Department to pay their respects all day, leaving mementos. So maybe 17th through the 30th, there was a vigil.
Amazing grace, how sweet. We come tonight to recognize that and to find strength in one another. But I think hopefully more than ever, our strength in God.
A crowd in the hundreds gathered in a large circle in front of the Bardstown Police Department. In the center, Officer Jason Ellis's police cruiser with his family in front. His wife, Amy, and one of his young sons lit the first candles of the evening, which eventually lit the way for the vigil. Bardstown Police Chaplain Tom Mobley says the light represents Ellis's life and his influence on others in this community. Besides loved ones, many who had never met the fallen officer came out to give support.
I think it's really put everybody together as a community, and I guess it's helping make everybody stronger. I just feel so sad for his family and his.
Look at all the people that has showed up. Isn't that amazing? All ages. This is actually a beautiful way to remember him.
Boys, his wife. I think it's important that we all show the community, because we all, I speak for a lot of people. I think we all feel the same way.
Everyone is close. We've always felt very protected because of the wonderful law enforcement that we have here. And they're not just their family and their friends.
That's the thing. When you live in these small towns, you get to know everybody from every profession. And if they're a good person, there's going to be a big turnout. That's just the way it is, regardless of what your job is.
Bars, when you're in this small of a community, and the impact of this loss is huge.
That was Drew Douglas reporting. Several people telling Drew this has been one of the hardest weeks that community has ever known. Meantime, Bardstown Police Department issues a warning. A Facebook page has been set up for donations, but the department says it hasn't been authorized by the family. That page is titled
Oh,
Giving Forward Officer Jason Ellis Memorial Fund.
what the hell? People are just like, what? I mean, really? It is a strange way, Jay. I was going to say, JJ, that is a very strange way, but I think some kind of coward, right? Hiding in the bush. Some kind of coward. Who does this? Yeah. It's just, oh my word. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Bardstown Police are encouraging those wanting to donate to hold off until the Fraternal Order of Police sets up a fund tomorrow. Of course, we'll give you that information just as soon as we have it. Officer Ellis's widow is expected to speak at a press conference tomorrow morning. Stay with WLKY for the very latest development.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just think you're right. It is a very, very strange way. But I think whoever did this is, like I said, he's a coward. That's a total cowardly move. So time could be coming for answers. Woo! Jason Ellis's family believes Crystal Rogers' case could be connected. Let's see here.
One of the top mysteries in Bardstown is continuing here tonight. In Nelson County, there are 4 families. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Prophet.
An Rogers case, but her family isn't in Jason's.
I think it's hard for us because there hasn't been a lot of new information on Jason's case from the very beginning. We've kind of been at a standstill from the beginning. For us, there's a possibility that the cases are connected. And so for us, that makes us very hopeful that if they can make traction on one, that.
So what do you guys think? Because they are making some traction. Okay. I've got something like that, friend, but I will also add it. Thank you so much. Let me see where it is. Wonder if it's even the same one. Okay, we'll do this. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put it. Maybe there. La-di-da-da. Let's get back to this, friends.
It'll bring answers for others, but then also it could not be connected. And then where does that leave us when there's not been any new information on Jason's case?
Bardstown police officer Jason Ellis was killed on his way home from work in May of 2013. Investigators called it an ambush, describing purposefully placed tree limbs right on the highway exit that lured that public servant from his vehicle before he was shot and killed.
Again, what a cowardly move. I can't believe, I mean, are you proud of yourself, buddy? You shot someone in the back.
Killed. Well, today in an interview you'll only see here on WHAS 11, I sit down with the Ellis family.
What were they even doing there? I don't know. Messing with mom, obviously.
For this family, photos are sacred, bringing them back to better times.
There he is. That's Jason.
Almost demanding the answers that I think we deserve.
In between her daughters, Jason's sisters, Pam Deerwester puts it simply.
The bottom line is Jason was a good guy.
A good guy they want to see remembered for who he was, not how he died. Something they say will only happen when his case is closed.
There is some momentum happening in other cases. We're kind of getting that boost again to feel a little more confident that time could be coming for answers.
Investigators have never fully linked Jason's case to Crystal Rogers. But in 2020, the FBI told us they believed answers in one Bardstown case.
So, how bizarre is this? They're thinking that these are all connected. So, each one of these is a rabbit hole that I'm almost afraid to jump into because look at all of this. It's just like, what?
Could lead to answers in others. The family agrees.
It's hard to not go there though, too, because
Do we know of an actual factual reason as to why this guy would be involved? Did he know Crystal? Did he know Brooks?
there seem to be similar people connected to each case.
So news of the arrest in Crystal's case was welcomed. It was also surprising.
It's hard not to be caught off guard, though. You know, you scroll Facebook or pop on the news, and then it's all these developments. An investigator can't even call me and tell me that this is kind of coming down the pipeline.
What's your communication like with investigators on Jason's case?
That's probably been the most disappointing part for us because we don't.
And that's the thing. These families, they don't get told much. And it just leaves them in limbo. But we have seen in other cases, if you do say some stuff, they might just throw it out into the public. So I don't know. I mean, maybe give them a heads up if it's something they're going to release.
Hear anything outside maybe the first couple of months after Jason was killed. It's kind of been radio silence.
They're in Kentucky, we're in Ohio.
Right.
So we're not easy access like maybe Crystal's mom.
But you can still make a phone call. Like the cops could still make a phone call. Come on.
Do you guys ever go to Bardstown for any reason? We were just there not too long ago. Yeah? Yeah. What's it like when you visit? Loving. They're very open arms with us and very loving with us.
I definitely think there's also an eerie feel. It is.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
I would think that there would be an eerie feeling. So Jason Ellis, 33, was shot and deleted on May 25th, 2023. Sorry, 2013. I don't know. Ellis had just finished a work shift at the Bardstown Police Department and was on his way home when he saw something unusual. So that is those branches that he got out and removed. Nearly 3 a.m. So investigators have never fully linked the Alice case to the Rogers case. But in a 2020 interview with the FBI, Assistant Special Agent in charge Brian Jones said that he believed answers in one Bardstown case could lead to answers in the others. And the Ellis family does agree. Looky, looky. Looky, looky.
Right now, a breakthrough in the Crystal Rogers case after 8 long years for the family and people of Bardstown. It's our top story right now at noon. A Nelson County man was arrested in connection to the Crystal Rogers disappearance. 32-year-old Joseph Lawson, that's him right there on your screen. He's facing multiple charges. This is the first arrest and charges that we've seen in any of the 5 unsolved Bardstown cases. His charges are specifically tying him to Crystal Rogers' case. Now, Crystal disappeared over 4th of July weekend back in 20.
So that is amazing. They are saying that he is connected to this. So we can't forget about his father, Steve. I'm kind of waiting to see if they pick him up as well, because he did just kind of give them a story when Brooks was being interviewed.
2015. Her father, Tommy Ballard, later found her car along the Bluegrass Parkway. Inside, he found her keys, cell phone, and purse. Rogers had been presumed dead since October of 2015. And since then, Rogers' family, multiple law enforcement agencies, and many within the Nelson County community have worked endlessly to find answers. Now, what are those people working endlessly to find answers?
Shay McAllister, you're joining us now live, of course, right here in the studio to help us break down this new development.
Yeah, so I think first let's get right.
So there is, like we were saying earlier, there are so many branches when it comes to this case. Like, where do you start? I hope. Okay, so we've got Brooks Houck is going to be arraigned on October 5th. So that is what, Monday, a Monday. So we'll keep our eyes open for that.
To the charges, so we know exactly what we're dealing with here. So the first charge is conspiracy to commit murder. This is in connection to an incident on 4th of July weekend, 2015. Important to note that is the very weekend that Crystal Rogers was reported missing, the last time anyone saw her alive. Some of the details we learned in the court documents, which we just got from the Nelson County Courthouse this morning, is Lawsons accused of agreeing to aid in the planning or commission of a crime intentionally causing the death of another person. He has pleaded not guilty to that one. The second charge in this case, tampering with physical evidence. Again, it's in connection to an incident on 4th of July weekend, which is the big weekend in this case for when she was reported missing. This one breaks down to mean that he is accused of destroying, mutilating, concealing, or removing or altering physical evidence in the case. We have no idea what that evidence could be. The details of these indictments are sealed. So really, we just know the details of the charges, not what.
This is unreal because I have never heard this guy's name, nor, that's the thing. That is the thing. Him and his father allegedly worked for Houck. But yeah, I know it needs some digging. His dad's first name is Steve.
What they actually mean. Here's what we know about the timeline. So this indictment was filed in June of 2023. That is actually when the grand jury came back with the indictment earlier this summer. The arrest warrant was signed and executed in August, and he was just now arraigned in court yesterday. And when we say in court, we mean it loosely because he was actually in a hospital bed. Take a look.
Like the formal reading of the indictment has been effected. The court's going to enter pleas not guilty in both cases. The court is going to proceed.
We already told you that he has pleaded not guilty in both of these cases. You see him right there in the hospital.
Of course he did. Of course he did. So that was, what did they say, June and August? See if we can dig up those documents.
The only time I heard him talk while listening to this video from yesterday is when he was asked his birthday to confirm his identity, and he said, "Yes, sir, that's my birthday. That's it." Haley, they set another court date for the end of October.
Okay, so obviously there's still a ton of questions, a lot of answers you're still working on getting. But first of all, we've never heard this guy's name before in connection to this case. Do we know what that connection could be right now?
Well, as you can imagine, Nelson County, small community, rumor mill is flying. Everybody thinks they know the connection here.
Sure.
And we just have not confirmed it just yet.
One of the stations, so I can't swear by it, but one of the stations said that Steve worked for Brooks. So can't say that is 100% because this lady here is saying something totally different.
His last name is a name that we have heard in this case before. It was a name that was brought up during an interrogation with Brooks Houck back many, many years ago. Again, we're not connecting the two. We haven't been able to do that just yet. So we don't know how he may or may not know them. I did ask the Ballard family, Crystal's family, have they ever heard this name? They said no.
Yeah, and obviously this is a big case now. It's become a national case, a federal case. Did you talk to the FBI? Are they expecting to do any more searches or any more arrests to be made, today or immediate future?
Well, I know today FBI and quite frankly, all law enforcement agencies connected are saying incredibly tight-lipped. Nobody would answer my questions. Hardly anyone would even take my calls.
Right.
Well, that sounds familiar. Like there's so many cases that really their lips are sealed. We have to wait for either somebody to leak something or for updates. Of course, there's always the speculation, right?
I'm not sure they were actually ready for all of this information to come out when
Yeah.
it did. So I know they're still working. One source very close to the case says they think this is just the beginning. They think there could be more arrests to come.
Nice.
All right, Shay, thanks so much. Of course, you want to make sure you stay up to date on WHS11.
So, yeah, that's what I heard. More coming. So I'm really curious if one of them is going to be Steve, the dad. It's not hard to be caught off guard. You scroll Facebook or pop on the news, and there's all these new developments, and you're like, oh, I just got this new article from a friend, and an investigator can't even call me and tell me this is coming down the pipeline. Yeah, the way that people, families get treated is not always the best. It breaks my heart. Let's see here. The bottom line is Jason was a good guy. He has a son, brother, and husband, a great father and friend. So we did watch this. Yeah, may he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. So this one here, I'll blow it up. Okay, so update. Warrant served to former police officer in connection to disappearance of Crystal Rogers. This is back on August 11th, 2016. But they're talking about Nick Houck and he's the brother of Brooks. And of course, they're wondering if he's involved at all in the Crystal Rogers disappearance. Previously, the city released a statement saying that Nick Houck interfered by calling his brother, Brooks Houck, with the knowledge that he was being interviewed as part of an investigation on July 8th, 2015. It was considered to be an act which put the interest of his brother Hello, you guys. You still hanging in there? I just got booted right out. Booted right out. And then it wouldn't let me reload, so I had to start up my computer again. Oh my goodness. So that means I have lost all my tabs. Yep, my internet go boom. Boom. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I only had a few more things to go through. How ridiculous. Let me see if I can find them for you again. I had no idea. I'm glad I checked in. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that oh, I do have this. Let's look at this, guys. Dandy. Oh my word. I have no idea. I couldn't do anything. It wasn't just my StreamYard. The whole thing just kind of went bleh. So this is Brooks William Houck. This is his indictment. Nelson Circuit Court, First Division, Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Brooks William Houck, 113 Glenview Drive, Bardstown. Charge the big M word and tampering with physical evidence. So this is what the grand jury charged. Count 1, on July 3rd, 2015. Intentionally or under circumstances manifest extreme indifference to human life, wantonly caused the passing of Crystal Rogers. 2, on July 3rd, 2015, or July 4th, 2015, in Nelson County, Kentucky, the above named defendant acting alone or in complicity with another, tampering with physical evidence when believing that an official proceeding may be pending or instituted, he destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, and altered the physical evidence, which he believed was about to be produced or used in such official proceedings with the intent to impair its verity, my tongue. Oh my word. So he was given $10 million cash only bond, and his next appearance is on October 5th. Judge Nelson, Circuit Court Judge. So unreal. Unreal, guys. What did I miss? Let's say. Did your internet go boo? So I'm going to do this because I know I have it close. So this here is basically before Clayton Chief Judge, get Rouleau and Goodwine judges. So this here is the paperwork that Crystal's parents have put out now that Brooks is in the Hooskow. They want that baby. So let's see here. The court believes that both father and grandparents came into the hearing with the motivation of protecting EPH's best interest. They simply have different opinions as to what is the best interest. After considering all the relevant facts, the court has determined that father is mistaken in his beliefs that visitation with the grandparents is not in EPH's best interest. The court understands the father's position given the current tension between the grandmother, her late husband, and himself. However, the court believes the grandmother is a loving grandmother and will not say or do things in EPH's presence that would harm his relationship. The father appealed that ruling to the court, and in November 2018, a prior panel of this court entered an opinion reversing that. The court specifically held, we are of the opinion the trial court not only failed to apply correct evidentiary standards, but essentially placed the burden on father to show visitation was not in EPH's best interest. So this is the paperwork that they're dealing with right now, because Crystal's family really, really wants that little boy back. So I'm not going to go through this right now because it's been a long live, but if it's something that you guys want to go through, let me know. And if I can figure out how to put the link, I'm sure Mexi can show me this link. I will put it up in Discord as well. So, kind of a bumpy end, but we got, I think, most of the important points out right now. I'm going to go through that paperwork myself, but if you guys are interested in it, do let me know. So thanks again, guys, for being here with me. I totally appreciate every single one of you. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.